to the PM News on television Nigerian. I am Eunice Johnson. First, the headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari welcomes rise of foreign direct investment in Nigeria. Ohanaeze Ndigbo described the death of former Secretary General Joe Achuzia as a loss to Nigeria. 144 Nigerians returned from Libya. The House of Representatives says there is no cordial relationship between it and the executives. Details after the break.
Tune in and stay tuned to TVN, Television Nigeria, broadcast beyond boundaries.
Welcome back. President Muhammadu Buhari has welcomed the rise of foreign direct investments in the country. The president made this known while at a meeting in Qatari business delegation led by former Emir Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani at the State House in Abuja. President Buhari described the federal government's agenda as aimed at moving the country from over-reliance on crude oil and food importation to increased food domestic production. The president added that the policy had in the last 2 years turned Nigeria into one of the most attractive destinations in Africa. The president disclosed that Nigeria has over 13 functioning fertilizer blending plants, with another 4 in the pipeline. In his remarks, Sheikh Al Thani said that global opinion on Nigeria as an investment destination had been boosted by the president's stand against corruption. He expressed his delegation's interest in investing in Nigeria's oil, railway, aviation, and power sectors. Ohanaeze Ndigbo has described the death of its one-time Secretary General, retired Colonel Joe Achuzia, as a great loss to Ndigbo and the country at large. The socio-cultural group said this in a statement issued by the Special Assistant to the President General. Atama said the history of the Biafra-Nigeria War would be incomplete without reference to the Civil War veteran. The Special Assistant to the Secretary General recalled that the late Achuzia contributed to the development of Igbo land and Nigeria between 2004 and 2007. He regretted that Joe Achuzia died when his wealth of experience was most needed to move the country forward. A batch of 140 Nigerians, including pregnant women, have voluntarily returned from Libya with the help of the International Association for Migration and the European Union. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the returnees arrived at the cargo wing of Murtala Muhammad International Airport in Lagos at 10:30 p.m. They include 54 adult females, 4 of whom were pregnant and 7 female children. There were also 79 adult males and 4 male children. Southwest Zonal Coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA, Suleiman Yakubu, received the returnees on behalf of the federal government. Officials at the airport to receive them were Nigeria Immigration Service, the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, officials of the Federal Airport Authority, and the Nigeria Police. The returnees were given £100 to each resume life in Nigeria. The House of Representatives says there is no cordial relationship between it and the executives. This reaction is coming hours after the Green Chamber frowned at the behavior of the Ministers of Mines and Steel Development, Kayode Fayemi, and his deputy, Bawa Buhari, passing a vote of no confidence on them. Briefing journalists in Abuja, the House spokesman, Abdul Razak Namdas, said their action goes a long way to tell the poor relationship between the two arms of government. He said the non-appearance of the ministers at the sectorial debate on the state of Ajaokuta Steel is a clear indication that they have no respect for the institution. President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, has asked states to stop the payment of pensions to former governors. The Senate President urged all state houses of assembly to take a cue from the Kwara State Assembly's assent to a bill suspending payment of pension to former governors and deputy governors holding public positions after office. The Jamaatul Nasrul Islam (JNI), under the leadership of the Sultan of Sokoto Alhaji Sa'ad Abubakar III, has criticized the federal government and the security agencies on the handling of the abduction of 110 Dapchi schoolgirls in Yobe State. In a statement in Kaduna, the JNI lamented that after 4 years of the unresolved Chibok girls' abduction, the country was witnessing another unfortunate, avoidable abduction of teenage schoolgirls. The group said the latest incident is an attempt to frustrate the girl-child education in the Northeast. It also dismissed the formation of probes or commissions of inquiry into the abduction saga, noting that not much has come from such exercises in the past. The religious group called on government not to spare anyone found culpable in the abduction of the Dapchi schoolgirls. Government Girls Technical College in Dapchi, Yobe State was attacked on February 19, 2018, and 110 students abducted from the school facility. In business, the federal government will reveal the identities of tax evaders starting from April 2018. Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun said this during a stakeholder symposium in Abuja. The finance minister said the government will name and shame tax evaders under the Voluntary Assets and Income Declaration Scheme, which ends March 31st. And in sports, Chelsea's head coach Antonio Conte has fired back at critics, saying that questions about Chelsea's ambition to compete with Manchester City should be directed at the club, not him. The reigning champions are 22 points behind Premier League leaders City ahead of their game at Etihad on Sunday. Conte appears to have cut his teeth in criticizing Chelsea's transfer policy since their title success in his first campaign. The Blues boss had earlier warned that Manchester City's financial possibilities can be better next season. On the foreign scene, 5 Kenyan policemen have been killed in a surprise attack by suspected jihadists near the Somali border. Kenyan police authorities say the 5 died while suspected Al-Shabaab militants raided the police camps in Lafi town in Mandera County, northeastern Kenya. The country police say a security operation is going on in the area. He, however, warned that the area's communication mast was destroyed by the attackers. The area has suffered repeated attacks since last year as terrorist group is fighting to overthrow Somalia's internationally backed government base in the capital, Mogadishu. A security breach has been reported near the Prime Minister's office and the United Nations headquarters in Ouagadougou, the Burkina Faso capital. Reports say explosion and gunfire was also heard near the army headquarters not far from the French embassy. Witnesses say masked gunmen attacked guards at the military headquarters soon after the explosion. Meanwhile, the French embassy in the country announced the incident on its Facebook wall, warning French citizens against any form of movement in the city. The United States Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is to visit Nigeria. Rex Tillerson will travel to 5 African countries between March 6th and March 13th. The countries are N'Djamena in Chad, Djibouti in Djibouti, Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, Nairobi in Kenya, and Abuja in Nigeria. The visit, which will be the first African visit by the current United States government under Donald Trump, follows a scandal caused by the president's branding of Africa's states as shithole countries. Ethan Noel, the U.S. State Department spokesman, announced that Tillerson will meet with leaders in each country. He is also to meet with the leadership of the African Union in Addis Ababa. The United States Department spokesperson explained that Tillerson will discuss ways to partner in counter-terrorism, peace and security, and promotion of good governance. To end the news, a recap of the major stories. 144 Nigerians returned from Libya. Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) insists only votes will count in elections. The House of Representatives say there is no cordial relationship between it and the executives. Former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki loses appeal at Supreme Court. And that's the PM News on Television Nigerian. Before we go, I'll leave you with this thought. Integrity is a virtue unknown to fools. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Eunice Johnson. Happy weekend.